Hit the mics, take a seat, it's about to ignite. Two dudes with the spread, keep your bets locked tight. Sports talk sharp like a razor blade edge. Numbers don't lie, no need for a hedge. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. From the pitch to the court where legends birth. Plays and parlays, every wager's worth. Sit back, tune in, ride the wave of mirth. Game clock's ticking, we predicting the heat. Fast talk, fast.
Hello, welcome to the Two Guys, One Spread podcast. This is a bonus edition. NHL and NBA playoffs or championships are coming up, and I wanted to get on here and chat a little bit about them. It's only going to be one guy, one spread. Tommy's doing a bunch of traveling for work. We're going to try and get an episode in maybe tonight as well. Tons of stuff to talk about between the NBA and NHL as well as NFL. Wow, what a crazy day yesterday was. But I wanted to get in and talk quickly about the two championships coming up. Super interesting matchups, I think, that we got for both of them. In the NBA, we got Spurs and the Knicks. You know, huge draw for the NBA. Really interesting that the Spurs were able to pull it out versus OKC. That kind of surprised me a little bit, but that team showed me quite a bit. As I look towards this game, or this series, the Knicks have been outstanding. I mean, really, I think their path to the NBA has been a little bit easier to the final, and I know that. They're deep and they've been on a roll. They've been playing really well, but I'm not sure that that's going to translate versus the Spurs. The Spurs seem like they really are moving in the right direction. I think that win versus OKC in the conference final that has to instill a ton of confidence in these young guys. And it may actually be a moment where, sometimes when you're young, inexperience comes into play. I'm not even sure in this spot where it's like where it's going to make that much of a difference for them. They don't know what they don't know. They're out there and they're as confident as can be. The Spurs are super deep. The Spurs are a deep team. They have, I think I looked at it the other day. I think they have 9 guys. I'm going to check real quick. I think they have 9 guys that get double figures. I mean, there's a couple of them that just barely get there, but that's depth. The Knicks have 6 guys. Honestly, I think Wemby's obviously an X factor. That guy changes the game on the offensive end and the defensive end. On nearly every single possession. I also think that Dylan Harper is a difference maker. I mean, he comes off the bench, but he plays some pretty good minutes. And I've actually followed him for a little bit during NCAA stuff. I was always kind of keeping my eye on riding Rutgers a little bit. And, he's been around the game because of his background. And I think that he could really be a difference maker. The Knicks play great defense, but I think the depth of the Spurs, and I think the number of scores they have are going to be able to really take this series. I think the Knicks are obviously a strong team, and I think that they will put up a match. I expect this series to go, I'd say probably 6 games, maybe even 7, but I'm definitely going to take the Spurs to win it. I'll officially go on and say it's going to be Spurs in 6. I know the Knicks have been, like I said, they've been rolling. They've been winning games really big. Brunson, I know we talked a little bit before on this about Brunson and just how good he is. Karl Anthony Towns, that guy is a difference maker. A big guy that can shoot the 3 as well as he does. He averages 26 points. That's or he averages 20 points. I'm sorry. Brunson averages 26. You know, they got some players, they got some depth. I'm just not sure that it's enough to overcome what San Antonio's putting out there and what they got going. I don't think it's anything crazy for me to go out on a whim and say if the Spurs win, I think it's going to be Wemby, you know, getting the MVP. I mentioned it before. The guy is an absolute freak. It's unbelievable how athletic he is for as tall as he is, how well he dribbles the basketball. I mean, he gets up the court, and I just really think that the Spurs have the confidence to put together the complete series and actually finish this thing off. For the Knicks, I think it's another step in the right direction. Sometimes you have those teams that just put it all together really fast and end up winning something without taking those progressive steps through the process. But more often than not, that's kind of what it takes. And this is that next step for the Knicks, right? They couldn't get to the finals. They made the coaching change last year. I was one that said, I don't know if I necessarily loved it, but it's obviously worked out. They won the Eastern Conference Championship, and they're here in the finals. But I think this, a defeat here is going to maybe put some pressure on them and make them go get that extra piece. Like if I look at the lineups right now, I just think they're missing that extra piece. They got, Bridges is a good player. He'll put up 17. I was just checking here, 16.8, but 6 guys in double figures, and I'm not sure that depth is going to be able to get it done in the playoffs. Man, I keep looking at the wrong thing. Bridges is 14.4 points per game. Again, very close, but I just, I'm not sure that they're going to have what it takes. I do think it makes for an interesting offseason for them as they get involved in, possibly some trades or who they can sign, but who they can get to put them, back in this situation next year. I think obviously the intriguing name is LeBron James, but we'll see where that offseason takes us. When I look at the NHL finals, that starts tonight. Exciting stuff. Hurricanes and Knights, both teams are really playing good hockey. You take a look at these off-season numbers. Carter Hart has 92.4 save percentage, 93.1 from Carolina. My gut feeling says that Vegas is going to make this a little bit tougher than people think. I was just at a coaching seminar the other day. Tons of talk about Carolina and how well they're playing, and they really are. I mean, 12-1 record in the postseason. They've really been playing. I mean, they are aggressive. They're aggressive on the forecheck. They're aggressive on the penalty kill. They're flying all over the place. But I almost feel like Vegas is getting discounted a little bit somehow, despite the fact that they just swept Colorado, which is crazy. I mean, Colorado was the number 1 squad. I know they were definitely hurt, but I think Vegas is playing really well too. A bunch of confidence. They have a ton of guys that have been here before. Third final in 9 seasons. That's crazy. I mean, there's cities that are starved to get the one, and I think the first time Vegas went, everyone was like, maybe a little fluky, this and that, but I mean, they've demonstrated that they have a good mix of talent, experience, grit, determination, and young players, old players. To get the 3 cup finals in 9 years is pretty pretty impressive. I'm gonna go. I do think Carolina wins. Not exactly what I'm hoping for, but I do think Carolina ends up winning. But I'm gonna take them in. I'm gonna take them in 7. I think Vegas could put up a little bit more of a fight than than I think they're kind of getting credit for. I've always been a Mark Stone fan. He's a great leader. Eichel's obviously an outstanding player, and I think they're tough enough and gritty enough up front to be able to do kind of what Montreal couldn't. Like I think Montreal was one of those teams that maybe ran out of gas a little bit, and the spotlight was maybe too big for them in that spot. They looked a little shell shocked. They had a tough time getting some zone entry stuff. They had a tough time sustaining pressure in the offensive end, but I don't think. I think Vegas is a little better equipped to handle it and maybe make some adjustments to their game to get beat up in the same way Montreal did. It's going to take really good goaltending because Carolina comes at you in waves. They really do. Their forecheck is relentless. They are on guys. They have a lot of those. They have a lot of those guys that I think NHL teams seek for the playoffs. Right, Jarvis, Blake, Ehlers. I mean, these guys not huge names, but they play super hard. They play super gritty. Stankoven, love that guy's game. Absolutely awesome. You got the experience from, the bigger names are Aho, Svechnikov, obviously Stahl. He's been doing this for a long time. But I think that depth and that level, that style of play is enough to win it. I just don't think it's going to be quite as easy as just when I hear people talking and read articles that about how good Carolina's playing, I think Vegas is getting cheated just a little bit. Carolina's minus 155 for this opening game. So officially, I'm going to go on the record. I'll say Canes in 7. I think that series, like I said, will be tighter than a lot of people think, and I'm going to go, with the Spurs. I'll take the Spurs in 6, and those will be my official picks. Hopefully we can hop on tonight and try and get an episode out because there's, I'd love to get Tommy's insight on some of this. And, huge day in the NFL with the Myles Garrett trade, the A.J. Brown trade. What that means for those teams, what that means for the rest of the NFL, as well as, a couple things I want to talk about on how those teams are approaching their offseason and what that means for, maybe some other teams and how they approach going around their off season. So for all the listeners and viewers, I really appreciate you guys. We're on all 4 platforms: Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. We're also going to talk a little bit about that giveaway we had mentioned, giving away a autographed Fred Jackson jersey to some lucky listener. So we'll talk a little bit about that and how you can make that happen. So I appreciate everybody and hope everyone goes well. Hope you win if you're in any pools or you got any bets going. Hope you win those. I know I did make a bet on the finals with one of my buddies on each side. So hopefully those turn out well. have a great one, and let's get ready for the championships in these two sports. It's always an exciting time of year. All right, see ya.
Hit the mics, take a seat, it's about to ignite. Two dudes with the spread, keep your bets locked tight. Sports talk sharp like a razor blade edge. Numbers don't lie, no need for a hedge. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. From the pitch to the court where legends birth. Plays and parlays, every wager's worth. Sit back, tune in, ride the wave of mirth. Game clock's ticking, we predicting the heat. Fast talk, faster stats, never tasting defeat. Breakdowns crisp, clear, a handicapper's delight.